Hi everybody, we're going to be working on our second video on embossing, and we're going to be using the cuttlebug. And for our stamp set, we're going to be using the Gina K design. This one is called Grateful Hearts. I think I've used it once before in one of my videos, but I had it here on my desk because we were going through a Grateful challenge with Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, and so I grabbed it for this particular video. This right here is a Spellbinders Possibilities, I think I'm saying that right, Possibilities folder, and there's a design on each side. So I'm doing the one, to me it kind of looked like one of those really bad sweaters where it has the horizontal lines, and I really liked it. I thought it was pretty. So I'm putting down my A plate, then a B plate, and I'm showing you here, if you put it across, then the lines, they would be more vertical, but I want it to go horizontal, so I'm putting it at the end of the folder, and then pressing it down like that, making the sandwich. Now when I was making this video, because this particular folder, it's a little bit thicker than your normal embossing folder, so I had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what the sandwich was going to be to get this to go through and then allow me to emboss my actual cardstock. So the best version, or the best method for the cuttlebug with that particular folder, was the A plate, the C plate, and then the embossing folder on top with nothing else on top of it. I just let it run through the machine and it embossed it perfect. As you can see here, I'm still fighting with the embossing machine, only because I didn't want to bring out the actual Spellbinders machine because it's a lot bigger and I don't have that much space in my camera view. So you can see here, it still worked. It did the embossing, and once I figured it out, it was okay. And it did emboss a little bit on the back side of the card, but I was okay with that. It doesn't bother me. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to cut out, I'm using the My Favorite Things, and it's the rectangle stitch die. And I took out the biggest one, and then I went 2 down and pulled out that one for where I'm going to stamp my leaf and my sentiment. And I'm just showing you, you can use this on pattern paper. It gives it a stitched look on the paper itself, and it's really pretty, and it gives it a nice finished look. And since you already had the machine out, might as well. Makes it easier. So the plan is for the white piece to sit in the middle, and you get a nice frame, and they're perfectly cut because you use the dies. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this together, and I'm going to stamp, like I said, from the Grateful Heart. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink, just getting my stamp pad out. And I'm doing that mainly for the video purposes because it was so much white on top of white that I just wanted to make sure that my camera wasn't going too crazy. So I'm just going to place this on top of my block. And this particular stamp in the set I haven't used yet. So what I did is I inked it up, and then on my grid paper I stamped it just to test it out, make sure it was stamping good. And then we're going to do it vertically. And I put it on just a slight angle, and then stamp down and pull up. And then the sentiment I'm using, it's My Forever Friend. And we're going to use the same ink and put it right on the bottom left. And really, once you tape this down, I'm using the Tombow runner. And once I, put it all together, really and truly, the card can be done. But I want to do something, I just wanted it to stick up just a little bit because of the texture on my actual base of my card, I decided to use the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, did I put enough tape on it? The dimensionals would adhere better to the embossing. So just put that in the center. And I really like that. That was plain. It was not plain, but it was simple, and it was still very pretty. But I wanted to just put something on it. I didn't want to put sequins, so I was like, what can I put on here? So I found these flowers that I got from Michael's, and you get 9 in the pack, and I just took one of those off and put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of that, and then I put it down on the bottom right hand side. And to me, that just finishes off the card. Okay, so you can see you can emboss on your base cardstock and it'll give you great effects. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this card. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday when we do our next video. Alright, have a good one.